Alright, command testing on Proton Snap, which is one of the new augment mods. I mean not augment, one of the new mod sets. Okay, I guess it's this check constantly. What else can I test with it? Nothing really. It was just mostly to test if it works. What else can I test it for? Status chance? It's already almost like 100%, I think. Yeah, it seems to be proccing every tick. Can I refresh it? Yeah, you could refresh it. Let's see, what else is interesting that I might be able to use it? Talos bolts? If I remember correctly, elements doesn't apply to the waves. Wait, didn't it used to have like a really high chance to apply? No, it had the recurrence combination. Proton, what else? Range and speed. Just increased damage. No, no, no. It combines with other elements, so it's not like Saren's 3 where it's a standalone additional toxin damage. Oh, in that case, what other gimmicky things that might be able to use it? Zenostar can convert it from heat to gas. Maybe the Lessian? No, if the Lessian applies a status effect, it increases in terms of damage. $37 impact. $14 for hitting them in the knee. 37 with the status. Okay, so it does stack. Worth it? Probably not, given that the trigger condition is to stay in the wall for 4 seconds. Maybe it's worth it for Blaze? Glaives? Oh wait, cost assist. Let's test this one. This one's got a fun thing to do with it. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so it does look like it affects the puddles. I mean, not like the puddles are gonna do much. On the other hand, it's 100% toxin damage, so it's 75 corrosive and 75 toxin. And since this weapon is base composite, the toxin doesn't merge into the corrosive unless you put electric in there. That doesn't combine with anything else. I don't know. I don't feel like this weapon have This mod doesn't seem to be able to do much. If anything, I think it's just got a niche use with the Zenistar if you're looking to have higher damage with lower cost. Like you can go corrosive heat, but your corrosive. Oh wait, how does that combine then? Is the toxin that's added by Proton at the end? Is it before or after the innate fire that the Zenistar has? Okay, let's put that there. Let's put electric in. So if I don't, wait, it's gas? No. Electric in, radiation toxin. Okay, this is base radiation now because of the electric was. Yep, that works. Oh, it's now corrosive heat. Now that's a big thing. So it's the regular mod set. So if you don't know how mod orientation works, here's a quick rundown. The game reads the mod slot from top left to bottom right. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this proton and if the weapon itself is innate element, it would be considered like ninth. So that's why it's innate. Since the Zenisar is innate fire, it combines with the voltaic strike to create radiation because it's got the innate fire here. But uh, once the proton snap comes into play, the heat is actually shunted to like the 10th slots, and the toxin takes up lies here. But what if I replace it? So now I have the proton snap taken up here, so I can get corrosive. Yeah, let's find out. Maybe I need something more. Oh, you know what? Let's add a cold to this. That should help with the test. This way, so it should be magnetic heat, and then if it works the way I think it does, then the proton snaps buff gets added to the end, so it should be 9th and heat is 10th, so it should be magnetic gas. If it isn't, then that means the slot where proton snap is important, because that would require you to have that would treat it like a regular virulent scourge or just toxin mod. While it is that means that the actual location of where the proton snap would matter if that is the case. But first, let's find out. Magnetic heat, okay. Blast! Corrosive blast. Wait, proton snap is slot 1, and electric is slot 4. So that means it's literally a toggleable toxin mod. That's interesting. Now, what kind of shenanigans can I do with this? Let's see if I can use. Let's find out. Okay, so I can do conditional radiation corrosive. Conditional radiation corrosive heat. Yeah. So let's see if I slot in. So this is conditional corrosive. If I have the buff, it's corrosive and heat. If I don't, it's just radiation and electric heat that makes radiation. Okay, so where the Proton Snap is important. This is gonna be one tricky build. What if I do this? Let's see. Volcanic Edge, so it's radiation with toxin. Conditional toxin. Since it's innate, right? Yeah, so it should just be radiation toxin when it applies. Yeah, just radiation toxin. So that means I need to put the Proton Snap before the other elements, or in between the other elements, to trigger the Force Toxin. Okay, how would I go about doing this then? So, without Proton Snap active, it would be just fire electric radiation, and then with the Proton Snap active, there should be gas electric. Is that should be how it works anyway, from what the testing have been showing. Okay, so conditional gas electric with but that's kind of weak though, because the thing with gas damage is you want higher toxin damage. In this case, it would just be like really weak gas damage, considering it's 50% of the 100% of base. Yeah. Probably. Wait, there's. Hold on. Yeah, radiation is 15. Gas is 12 and 13. I think. Hold on. There has to be an enemy without any kind of preferentials. Don't Grenier. Yeah, it's minus 50% gas. And since it was a heavy gunner, it has no weaknesses against radiation, but it resists gas. So that's probably what the problem was. In that case, I think Infested is probably my best bet to do. Minus 50%, 75% radiation. And then, but nothing against gas. Charger takes a lot from gas. And the little guys take a lot from gas. Wait, if these are scannables, then why can't you do the the other one then? Oh, you know what? I'll use this one. The Orphid. Oh, so it does add whatever damage it's doing as radiation. I mean, as gas. Because it was doing 600 something for radiation. So it is 600 something as a radiation damage against the shield. But against the shield it was doing 1300 uh, as gas electric. So I think it's summing up the total damage and adding that and not looking at base damage. Is it really that easy though? Ugh, I guess I have to just grab a pen and paper and actually math it out. $1,746. 3,400. Yeah, it's just straight up doubling whatever they have, and 50% of that is gas. Wait, I can actually use the number of gas procs as opposed to counting the damage. Actually, that's a viable option. Cause okay, so math-wise, if I have this much status chance, then it should just be comparing the amount of gas procs to electrical procs to determine how much damage it's doing. And the answer is this volcanic heat, volcanic edge, plus proton snap, plus the base damage of what, 75? Let's see. So base damage is 130. Uh, volcanic edge is adding 60. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It adds up the entire weapon's damage. Probably isn't, but I'm thinking it might be. It just adds up the entire weapon's damage, add 100% less toxin, and then insert toxin into whatever slot that is in to convert it from radiation to gas. So I have 160% heat and 60% electric, and then in addition 100% toxin based on the entire weapon. That doesn't make sense. Usually the math formulas, Warframe's math doesn't go that way though. Usually if you add anything, it adds to the base damage. So it should just be 130 with 130 gat toxin. Whatever, I'll figure it. Someone will figure it out later. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.